Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Alexander. This is my quality improvement project. My aim statement was through monitoring of daily screen time and increased phone-free activities for 30 days. Alexis's average daily screen time will be reduced by 10%. Alexis is my 15-year-old daughter who spends much too much time on the phone. So my project started out, I did a 5 week stretch of time. I started on March 9th, I ended on April 10th. Week 1, I took baseline measurements of her screen time on her iPhone. I did this from March 9th through March 13th. Her average daily screen time came out to 5.05 hours a day. And then the Sunday after my baseline measurements were taken, we got a little surprise email from her school saying that as of March 16th, she would be doing distance learning. So she did not go to school at all that week, and my baseline measurements were based on her being in school and not getting out until 2 in the afternoon. So that threw my data for a loop. Weeks 2 through 3, my PDSA cycle, what I was doing was I was implementing a couple different things to hopefully take up some of her time where she would be doing other activities other than being on her phone. So my plan was on Monday and Friday nights, we would do a family movie night after dinner. And then Wednesday nights, we would do a family game night, which she was actually really excited about. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I just decided to throw in some chores for her to do. Originally, I decided that she would do the dishes and then clean her room. Her room is a disaster, so I figured that would take quite a bit of time. So my measurements for week 2, not surprisingly because of the pandemic and her being home, her hours, average screen time went up by quite a bit. So she went from just over 5 hours a day to 7.92 hours a day, which was a little frustrating. I decided to continue on to week 3 just to see if that trend continued, because actually in week 3 she started distance learning. So week 2 she actually had the week off from school. Thought maybe that would give her a little more time to be on her phone. So maybe week 3 she would go down, but that was not really the case. She had average screen time of 7.86 hours per day. A lot of it was because her distance learning, she was actually on her phone, so that contributed to the screen time as well. So I continued through week 3, and at the end of week 3, I decided to adjust my PDSA. I did notice that there was a trend on week 2 and week 3 that she had less hours of screen time on Wednesday, which was when we had done family game night. So what I decided to do was I kept Monday movie night, and then I changed game nights to Wednesdays and Fridays. I also added chores onto Tuesday and Thursday because it turns out it didn't take her as long as I thought to do the dishes and clean her room. So I added on cleaning the second floor bathroom, which is the bathroom she uses, and it's a disaster. So I was hoping that that would take up more time. I also added story time with her brother Cameron, who's 5 years old, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What I did was I had her pick 2 books and read the books with him to take up a little more time, and give them some quality time as well. So data from week 4, her screen time actually went down substantially. She was down to 6.12 hours average each day. And then the same with week 5, she went down quite a bit from my PDSA cycle number 1. She was down to 6.32 hours, which still is above her baseline, but it was a substantial decrease from week 2 and week 3. This is just a comparison run chart I did of all 5 weeks, including the baseline, just to kind of show you how the trends were. It seems like Wednesdays she really had less screen time. I thought maybe it was just because she really liked game night, but she actually did have a little dip on Wednesday on baseline as well, so I'm not sure exactly the science behind that. But so results at the end of PDSA cycle number 1, she had a 56.2% increase in screen time from her baseline, which again, due to the pandemic and school ending, I'm not surprised that that happened. At the end of PDSA cycle number 2, she still had a 23.1% increase from baseline, which obviously my aim was to have a 10% decrease, and that didn't happen. But based on the situation, again, I'm not surprised. One thing that I did notice that I was actually happy about, from PDSA cycle number 1 to PDSA cycle number 2, she had a 58.9% decrease in screen time. So even though I did not meet my aim, I did consider that a small victory, and in the future I will continue this on to see what her screen time would be with a normal school day. I guess I can't figure that out until next year, but it would still be interesting to see if I could have hit that 10% decrease. But that is my QI project. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy.